This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Depot, largest selection and best prices in the Pacific Northwest. Check out discgolfdepot.com for more information. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my review of the Innova Discs Aviar3. Big thank you to the Disc Golf Depot for sponsoring this review. They are my favorite shop. They are my home shop here in Portland, Oregon. I really appreciate their support, continuing to help me out with some great plastic to test and review. And it just feels great to go check out what they have in stock, and Jerry is willing to work with me and hook me up, do some cross-promotion, and get some great plastic out there to test and then post a review for you guys. So if you're in the Portland area, please go check out the Disc Golf Depot. I mean, that should already be where you're going to buy your plastic as far as I'm concerned. And if you're not, just give them a call. Let them know that what you're looking for. If they have it in stock, they'll ship it out to you. No problem. Take your order over the phone and all that good stuff. So big thanks to the Depot, Jerry, Riker, all the guys over there. I appreciate their support. Let's get into the review of the DX Aviar3. There are some flight numbers for you. 3202. Innova Disc Golf, PDJ approved, of course. You can see, like all three discs, this thing has a very flat top. Very, very flat across the top. The DX plastic feels great. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with DX plastic. It's Innova's cheapest, most inexpensive, and least durable plastic out there on the market, but it's great for putters, especially if you're going to use this thing short range. You're not going to be really slamming a lot of trees with it too hard. It will break in quicker than any other plastic, but it has a really great feel to it. This one's got a really nice grip to it for sure. It's pretty rigid, stiff disc. Not a lot of flexibility to it, a little bit. Just a little bit of give under the thumb, but it's got a nice grip and feel. DX plastic will feel good, even if it gets a little wet for rainy rounds and that sort of thing. And it's very inexpensive, so you can go check out one of these discs, see what you think. And maybe if you really like it, you can look into a different plastic type. This thing being DX, while you take a look at the rim profile, I'm going to say that being a DX plastic disc, it does seem to fly a little bit farther than I was expecting and have a little bit glide. This disc in a more premium plastic like Star, I'm assuming, is probably considerably more overstable. And it will also obviously hold those flight characteristics for a longer period of time, being a more premium plastic. So this stuff feels really good. It's got that very kind of reminiscent beadless Aviar shape to the rim profile here, but it has that very, very flat top to it. So really good feel in the hand. I love the flat top feel of a disc. I think that feels nice. Just the way it sits in my hand there. I just dig it. I like the way it feels. It feels comfortable to me. When disc has a big rounded top, sometimes it just feels awkward in my hands. This is a personal preference thing, but I do like it. Board flat. Aviar3. Good feeling disc in the hand. I like the DX plastic. I know it's going to break in faster. That's a nice attribute for a putter because it'll kind of start to flip up and fly even straighter as you kind of wear it in. And if you're going to use it inside the circle, most folks like a nice broken in putter that will fly dead straight out of the basket. So in flight, this thing is pretty stable and can pretty much handle about as much as I want to put on it without flipping a whole lot. It really just kind of stands up and carries on that line for a little while with a gentle but very consistent fade. It's not a very glidey putter, but it does have a little bit more glide than I was expecting based on the numbers and based on what I've heard from this disc. Again, going back to what I said earlier, that I think the Star version of this disc is probably more overstable and probably has a little bit less glide as well. But yeah, just a really point and shoot, straight flying disc. I was out testing it on a soccer field. I got a couple of nice goals with it, pretty easy. You know, it just kind of flies on the line you think it's gonna. I throw it down on a little hyzer, and it would just kind of pop up just a hair, or more or less fly on the angle that I released it on, and just dead straight down the line. Gentle finish, very, very intuitive point and shoot disc for me at this point. It didn't take me hardly any time to get a feel for it. I really like the flight I was getting out of it. It's very consistent. I forgot about doing it earlier, but since I have it next to it here, straight up next to a DD Marshall, just to get an idea of the difference in the rim profiles, as I like to do. Marshall does have that little micro bead there, and the Aviar3 is smooth beadless. I would say Marshall probably a little bit more stable and a little bit more glide, but yeah, Aviar3 is a solid point and shoot approach disc or short range driver. Didn't really test it as a putter, but I think it would be a solid choice for that as well if you like to give it just a little bit more pop on your putt, because it's got that little bit of stability to it, and it's not something that really flips up and will just float on a straight line like a magnet or a broken in kind of Innova DX like Aviar putt and approach type disc. It's just kind of hold that line for you really nicely. And if you want to get it to work right, if you throw it with a good strong Anheuser release, it will fly that way. Maybe finish flat, maybe pan out just a touch at the end of the flight. But it's just a really solid point and shoot approach disc and short range driver. Highly recommend checking out the Aviar3 if you guys are Innova throwers. That's my review. Thank you to Disc Golf Depot for their support. Thanks to you guys for watching. I will check you later. Cheers.